say that I need to be saved. Say with me, the devil got his way. I want to know how when you are praying, when you are doomsdaying, how you think you know that someone is listening to what you are saying.
Hello and welcome to Freethinking Island, where the prevailing winds of reason blow and the waves of logic and evidence flow. My name is David Winston, aka Caribbean. I'm back on Freethinking Island, another beautiful day in the Caribbean. And here we have today someone that epitomizes that Caribbean flamboyance, our special guest, Didi Winston. But before we get to her, let me introduce, as usual, my co-host, lovely as usual, Joy Holloway, Kahlua Queen.
Well, yes, I am here on the Freethinking Island. Not quite as fabulous as Didi, but I am. When I grow up, I want to be like Didi. So I'm here with the rum and coke for Didi. Didi, you drink rum and coke, right?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
So
So,
everybody listening to Free Thinking.
all right. Well, here's some rum and coke for you, darling, and
Thank you.
we're gonna spill some. We're gonna, as we say, we're gonna spill some tea here on the show today.
Yes, spill some tea.
We gonna kiki and we gonna spill tea.
Yeah.
For
And
Didi.
we gonna get.
We gonna
You perform
gonna
back, David.
have
You
it.
don't know nothing about this.
Oh boy,
You know, right?
I
Keep
could
it
just
what?
sorry, I get laugh with her. But anyway,
Stand alongside
I
this.
can start alongside here.
I got
Alongside
David
here.
is no spaz, honey. He is so spaz.
Oh
Well,
boy.
honey, I got the rum and coke, I got the t-shirt, and I got the kiki, and we
Here we
in here
go.
with D.
Holla.
What's good?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing fine.
Oh, that's good. I'm good. There's a lot of stuff going on, and you just have to deal with it, but you just gotta roll with it and make it your own. So
Yeah.
you
Does
know.
it ever get you? Do you ever? I mean, I used to feel like this when I would watch Roots growing up. You know, you see you're a black person, and then you realize, oh, black people are treated, and you kind of realize, oh shit, I'm one of those people that nobody kind of likes. Is it like that when you see all this kind of stuff going on? I mean, as we talked about in the Caribbean with the killing of the transgendered persons. For anybody listening who doesn't know, Didi is a transgendered person. Didi is female now, right? But
Yeah.
you were born male.
Yes. Well,
And right, that's in the past. And in light of the transgendered, well, we can get into the whole
We'll
thing,
get
the
into that.
transgendered thing. But I did first meet Didi. I'll tell you how I met Didi. I met Didi when she came up to New York to be the band leader for the Colors band on Eastern Parkways West Indian Carnival. Yeah. Didi.
Woo.
Didi was amazing. I mean, I
you.
have not seen a person twirl a flag and move their body since or it like Didi. Didi, and I'm a dance fiend. I love music and I love dance and I love powerful dancing, and that
thank you.
is
Thank you
what
so much.
Didi was. You can
That's
see the
right.
pictures. I still got the pictures, so the pictures are
And the
there.
pictures are fabulous, darling.
Okay.
Yes.
Didi was done. The makeup was done. The body was
Thank you.
done.
Everything.
The legs. Oh, the legs. I mean,
We need to get some video of that for Freethinking Island. Don't you think so?
oh, they gonna be
Because
video.
I think that
There's just to be
you need-
footage.
I got video.
the world needs
fabulous.
to see this, because people have an idea in their mind probably as they listen, but I think that nothing really beats the being there and see
visual.
the actual thing where you see the music and the emotion going together.
Right.
you know-
And Didi also performs along. You used to perform at Plantation. I think the Plantation is
Yeah.
no more.
There's no more. Yeah.
And I saw you perform in the Gap down in St.
Ragamuffins. We still do that.
Oh, you still do Ragamuffins? That's
Yes,
great.
we do.
It's a great drag show. Anyone in Barbados, go to Ragamuffins. It is the best. It's amazing. They're so good. So this is who is here. This is Didi.
But just to say, I think, my seeing of Didi probably goes back even before that. Not to take away from, of course, your fabulous experience, Joy. But I can remember back in the days when I used to perform in NIFCA, because I think at that time there was this very flamboyant dancer, even back then, who I remember answering to the name of David at that time. And which of course happens to be my name, so that's where I remember
right.
the connection. You know, somebody would say David something, and I would look around and I would see this person right there. So I've seen now that David become Didi, and I'm sure that we will hear more about that. But fabulous dancing right through that, you know, and lots of, and then also designing, which we shouldn't forget in terms of many of the costumes and things that go on in the arts in Barbados. So,
wow,
Didi, you know, you can speak to us about your impact in the Caribbean, Barbados.
The bar is high. The bar is set real high, Didi. Didi, the bar.
Oh my son, take it away, Didi.
Talk to me about being, first of all, let me ask. Talk to me about being a transgendered person in Barbados. And I know Barbados is not as hostile as Jamaica. Talk to us about being a transgender person in Barbados. The ups, the downs, the good, the bad.
The ups, you live for you. And it is what you make it. You know, I always say, if you cannot be happy in your own skin, something is wrong. You know, for me, I always tell people, if you have an issue with me, ignore me. You know, that's how I see it. But then you have those people who go, oh, you should have this and that. And I always say, ye without sin, cast the first stone. You understand? And because for the first thing they go to is the Bible. I'm like, really now? Come on, put that away, and you deal with me as a human being, as a person. You know, and some of them get it, some of them go on their own, their own journey. Because and for me, what you think of me has nothing to do with me.
Right.
You know, so your issues, you deal with that. I don't have time for you and that. You know, mind you, there are some other people who have, they get low self-esteem, they go into their shells, and I'm like, nope, I cannot do that, because those who come after me have to go, like, you know what, Didi has done this, so can I. And I will live my life for me, not for them.
That is excellent. That's really good. And I like that you said, if you don't like, you know, if you don't like it, you don't have to look at me. Just walk away. You know, why are you lingering, looking at me and talking and doing whatever? Just don't look at me. Just walk away. And I think
you go on your way, and I go on mine. And the thing is, I don't have time to mind people's business. I have things to do, places to go, you know, doors to open. So it doesn't move me none the least. But then there are times when you have to deal with certain situations, but you have to be strong. You have to show faith. You have to let them know, you know what? I don't give a damn what you think. This is what it should be. Like, for instance, customer service. People see you and they go like, oh, my God, and they act really dumb and they act really silly. Me, I don't like it. Treat me the way you want to be treated. You understand? And if you go there, I will do what I have to do to let you know that, hey, I'm a human being. Right. You deserve the best quality there is. The same way I give great service, so should you. If you have an issue, you shouldn't be in the job.
And that is true. And I can attest to that, because many people have told me, I mean, that they have gone into your place of business and about the excellent customer service that you particularly give. That you give. I mean, and this is more than one person. This is over the years. So, I mean, I wonder, I mean, do you see yourself, you said about opening doors, do you see yourself as being a person who is representing a group, that you are there almost like on show for others to look up to you and to follow you? Or do you just see yourself as Didi and you do what Didi does, and if people follow you, so be it, but that's their business?
Well, for me, if I do something, I do it for me, but also if it benefits others who are going to look at it and become stronger within their skins and become stronger mentally, physically, verbally, yes. You know, because you don't want people to be, like, there's a time I went somewhere, this guy told me, oh, you can't pass here because blah, blah, blah. I said, really? Watch me. Mm-hmm. And I passed up, and I passed down, I passed up, and I passed down. I said, what do you have to say? You know, because if you think, well, I'm scared, I'm not. And if you want to bring it, bring it. You understand?
Yes.
And he was like, I said, yeah. I said, the same way you want to talk, I can talk. The same way you want to throw, I can throw. The same way you want to shoot, I can shoot. You know, so don't think for one minute that you can do stuff and it can't be done to you. And he was like, you know, I said, you know what, you just back it up. Just back it up and shut up. Like,
do you think that people will bully you if you show like a weak personality? And I feel like bullies they're trying it with you. You know, you are becoming their punching bag for whatever reason, and they will try it. And once you give it back to them, it's like they see you again, and it's all of a sudden, oh, okay, I can't fuck with him. You know, I can't mess with this one. Let me move on to the next person. And I think by you being like that, you know, that you're not really doing Didi, but you might be showing some other young guy out there or someone out there who might not be as strong. You might show them, I can do this. Look at Didi.
Because many times a few queens and a few guys and girls have come to me and they go like, you know, I like your power, your personality, and then I always tell them, live for you. Do not live for society. Because when you live for society, you forget the main person in the picture. That's you. You know, so just live for you. Do what makes you happy. I'm not saying to be disrespectful to people. I'm not saying to break the law. I'm not saying to do bad things, but live for you. Make yourself happy. If you want to scream, scream. If you want to sing, sing. You know, if you have an issue with it, too bad for them. You know, don't please. I mean, it's not, and you're not being vain and just loving yourself. But you gotta love you, because if you can't love you, nobody else is going to love you. Is going to love you. You know, so you gotta love yourself.
And also talking about, talking about that, how was it for you, like growing up? You know,
growing up, everybody knew I was a little diva. So there really was.
So even David was a diva.
Huh?
David was
a diva too.
Who's that?
When you were
Oh my God! Awesome. Okay. I'm. That was so long ago.
Oh yes, I know. But you know, story started at the beginning, right? Story started at the beginning.
Okay. And even back then, you had growing up. It was always about, you know, being you first thing.
Yes.
It was never for me. It was never issue of, oh, she is this or he is this. It was always about your child. You take a child's place. You go to school. You get an education. You know, you do your family proud. You do yourself proud. You know, and you just live. I know there are other people who had their drama growing up, but I really never got that. And if I had family members who had issues, I really did not care. I really didn't. I would always like. I have this uncle, and he had issues with certain things. And one day I told him, I said, "Let me tell you something, sweetie. What you think has nothing to do with me, and what you think, I really don't give a. I can't say right now, but that's your problem. You deal with that, because I wouldn't be dealing with that. You know, he told my father a lot of bullshit.
Right.
I was like, you know what? No. You need to back it up. Mind your business and don't mind mine."
And you think, I know how it's in Barbados, and it's not like Jamaica. Do you think, hearing the stories about Jamaica, I don't know if you've ever been to Jamaica, do you think it is a little easier in Barbados, or you think it's just hard all around? You know, hard in America, hard in Barbados?
It's easier in Barbados because I find there are things that, for instance, me, I've been accosted by Jamaicans. There's this one thing in the store, this Jamaican guy came in and he was being rather rude, and I was smiling. And he was, whatever he was saying, and I was smiling. And I kept smiling because I said, there I am, little 5'9" old me. This 6'3" man is just being ignorant beyond belief.
Right.
And when he was done, I said, sir, you have made me so powerful right now that you're going to understand it. All that you're saying is just bouncing off of me because you don't pay my bills. You don't treat me the way I want to be treated. You don't buy me anything. You do nothing for me. Right now, you're just an empty vessel making a lot of noise. Now, shut up and buy something or leave the store.
Shut up.
You know,
hurry up and buy.
Here we go. Be quiet. Buy something or leave the store, because really, truly, what you're doing here right now, I don't care. I really don't care.
I love
as long as people don't step into my space, fine.
I love that you say that you're making, that you told him, you're making me so powerful.
Yeah, because literally I'm making you out like a total idiot.
Exactly, because he wasted so much time on you, little old you. And he concentrated all his efforts on little old you. And I think your attitude is just great. I think your attitude is great, because the fact that you have now stopped from your day to be totally caught up with little old me means that I am. You have deified me right here. You're making me feel too good.
Hopefully he would go away and think about that a little bit more, though, because I'm sure that he would have never had that response to saying that in Jamaica. I mean, he was probably really, really taken by that.
You understand?
Yeah, just the confidence.
And they go like, and I'm tired of people going, oh, you can't go to Jamaica, you can't do this. And funny thing is, those who say that have never been to Jamaica.
Yes.
They've never even met a Jamaican, you know, and it is so sad. So sad, because there are gay men and gay women in Jamaica.
Sure, of course, there are many.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, come on now. I said, really?
Yes.
Is this what you think?
Have you been there? Have you ever been to Jamaica?
No. I have friends, and I'm not scared to go, mind you. But I've never been.
What do you think of the recent climate with the Queen Ifrica talking about gay people? You know, I mean, I find people to be completely obsessed with gay people, and I don't know why. Is it that it's your fabulousness? They want to be like you guys. I don't know what it is, but they completely. I think they dream of gay people at this point.
Yeah, I think it is so sad that people. There's so many things to do, so many things, and someone's sexual preference takes you to another level where you become ignorant. You become, and then to hear the person speak, you are dumb. You know, instead of doing that, raise some money for breast cancer, HIV/AIDS research, buy people, get the homeless in houses. People who are hungry, shut up and feed them. Do not mind me with my boyfriend or me with my girlfriend. You do something else, positive, instead of saying, oh, this and that. And what is so sad, your sexual preference is such a small little thing about you. It doesn't make you the person you are. You know, and they go off on it. Oh, you're this, you're that. This is an abomination. Oh, come on. And half the time, can they spell abomination? Give me a break.
They mispronounce it half the time. Is it always the religious thing? Because, of course, here we talk about the religious aspect a lot, because that is what to learn.
That's where it comes from. That's where it comes from.
Yeah, I mean, but I wonder is it all religion, or is it also some culture too? Because it seems that, as we say, there are other things in the Bible that are prohibited, which people ignore. But this one issue, this one singular issue that people will preach a sermon for 2 hours about.
And they always go to Sodom and Gomorrah. Right. And you know what I tell these people? I said, I can't read, so the Bible, I don't know what it says. You know, that's what I tell them.
So you don't have to follow it because you can't read it.
You know, I can't read. I don't understand. Right. And to me, you could be lying to me, telling me this is right and this is wrong. Yeah. And they also tell them, when they come to me, I said, stop. Ye without sin, cast the first stone.
Right.
And they look at me like, I said, yeah, what?
Wow.
Something else. Do not study. Do not look at my outside.
Right.
You know nothing about me. And that's another thing, too. Oh, you should pray. Oh, really? I do pray. You know, you should pray for you. You should not judge me.
Yes, right.
You know, because you know nothing about me. Half the time they go, and I'm like, excuse me, what's my favorite color? What do I like to eat? You know, where do I party? Where do I sleep? You know, do I have a mother or father? You know nothing about me. So how dare you tell me I should do this and I should do that, because you know nothing about, you don't understand me. You know, and it's so sad. And I always go like, why is it you're here telling me this and I'm not even thinking of you to tell you anything? You know, so they need to get it together. They need to study other stuff. They need to put that negative jargon and make it positive and do something else for people instead of that crap. It's so sad. So sad. That somebody's preference.
As you said, there's so many things in the Bible that are prohibited. And, you know, when they use that to throw daggers at you, I feel like that is a last straw. It's like they see you. I would rather a person just say, I don't like you for what, than just try to hide. Yeah. Do you feel like they're trying to hide behind the Bible? Like, I don't like you, but I don't want to say I don't like you, so I'm just going to throw a jab from Leviticus, Genesis, or Numbers or something.
Like this lady on Facebook, she sent me oh, she got it this morning, and she thought of me, and she said, apart from your outfit, I said, girl, are you for real? You just see me. You don't know me. And I had to put in a few little black words there to let her understand,
Yes.
You understand? And I said, you do not judge me. And I said, you know what? I just spoke to God, and God told me to tell you, mind your own business.
Mind your own business. That was a big song too.
Here we go. Mind your business. You deal with you. Do not deal with me. And don't be sending me these little things. Oh, you woke up this morning thinking of me, and then mentioning my outside and how I look, and he still loves you. He loves all of us. Honey, he still loves you. You know nothing about me.
Yes,
Does
exactly.
he love you? You're judging me. It's so sad.
It was so funny. It's so funny because I was just thinking to myself, well, if there ever was a God that I believed in, I would believe that it would be a God that would say, mind your own damn business. Mind your business.
Right.
Hello.
Mind your business. Keep your nose out of people's business.
Yeah.
Do you find it? I don't like patronization. Like people will say to you, "Oh well, you don't hate the sin. You don't hate the sinner. You hate the sin." Or oh, I pray for you. You're such a nice person, but if only you could just get it together and stop wearing those clothes and just be normal, quote unquote normal.
This one lady, she mentioned that she said she would pray for me. I said, okay, I pray for you too. You can't pray for me.
Oh, really?
I said, baby, are you on medication? Are you unmedicated? Are you medicated? Are you for real? You can pray for me. I can't pray for you, Miss Girl. You need to go back. You need to go back and retrace those steps because you're making an idiot of yourself.
Yes.
Go back. Whoever, and it's amazing.
Right,
and
what can do?
The things that people do, like this guy, the tracks that they give out.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah, I was
we regret to say, but we know that.
Yeah, 100 of us. And he comes through the whole crowd to give me one. Yes. I said, buddy, are you mad? Mm-mm. And of course, I got loud and I shut the place down. I said, you are now going to turn around and give every single person here some of these tracks, not just me. Because you know nothing about me. You need to study yourself before you fall.
Right.
Okay? Get it together.
Right.
Study yourself before you fall.
But in terms of yourself, though, what's your position in terms of the church? Are you still involved, or what's your position?
Honestly, I used to go to church, but then dance took over. I mean, growing up, I've always been dancing, and you would go to church and stuff as a young age, but then you do other things, and it's there, you go to church and stuff, but then. Like I said, you started doing things, you're getting older, and then my mindset was more on the creative aspect of my career. So church was like, okay, hallelujah. But then too, you had rehearsals, you had shows, and then you had class, and it was, like I said, the church was there. And then too, people's attitudes. You go and you sit down, and they're looking at you instead of listening to the Word of God. And I'm like, you know what, Didi? You just disappear for 2 minutes and handle you. Let them do what they want to do. It's so sad. And I'm like, you know what? I don't have time for the BS. I really don't. So, it's not that you don't pray, because I always tell people prayer is good. It refreshes you. It keeps you level. Even though sometimes you gotta go off and let them know, hey, back it up.
Yes. So is it kind of like your own space that you go to?
They're going to like a meditation.
Like a meditation, but you don't follow like everything that they're saying, the doctrines and so in that way.
I think a lot of people are going to come out of that, because like you say, a lot of people, not only if you're gay, or a lot of people are going to come out of that doctrine stuff, and it's like. I consider sometimes with people praying, it's like a type of meditation, like going into your own space, like you say, building up Didi, empowering Didi, getting in that mind frame for Didi, and not sitting there like a sheep and having people look at you funny or, oh Lord, what are you doing coming in here? Oh, look at this. Doing Didi and empowering Didi. That's what you have to do, especially with people. Do you find that people are, especially in the church, are judgmental because they like to look down their nose to think that somehow they are better than you?
There are few who do that, but I always tell them there are skeletons in your closet. You need to stop. There are a few things that you need to deal with. There was an instance where a man, he came up to me and he was telling me all this jargon But little did he not know, as I knew, he was talking to somebody else, and he was married. So I told him, I said, excuse me, sir, I don't mean to be rude to you.
Yes.
There's only one woman that you should have in your life. That's the woman who happens to belong to the ring on your left finger. But I'll tell the other girl you said hello.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, I called her
cute.
name, and he looked at me like, I said, yeah, you do not go there with me. And half the time, they have so many things to deal with.
Right.
Why are you looking at me? Let alone me. You know, so don't bring that to me.
Why do you think it bothers them so much, though, Didi?
Because, you know, and really, I said to myself, people just want to be in your business. To me, that's all it is. You know, it is so sad. Okay, all right, I'm different, fine. But don't you tell me I'm different because all for, and that it's bad that I'm different, and I shouldn't be this, and I shouldn't be that. Well, you don't know me. You are not me. You know, and I always tell people, in that case then, me being who I am and you being straight means you are different in my world.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
Mommy?
That
I'm
is
on the
true.
phone. Hi, Daddy. All right, Daddy. Okay, so that's my dad. Okay.
Oh, you see?
Okay.
That's right. That's right. She has a dad who comes by. See, people. Hello.
Yes.
You have a dad.
Of
You
course.
know, people think that you hatch from an egg or come from Mars.
I know, right?
You have a father.
I was talking to someone, and I said, my father came, and he was like, oh my God, you're a dad. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I tell
Yes,
people,
of course.
we all have parents.
Families.
Some of us have parents who give them drama. And I always tell my friends, do not be disrespectful to your parents.
Right.
If they don't understand you, move away. Eventually they will. If they don't, that's their boat. You need to live for you. You need to do for you. You know, so.
There's some of these people that might be talking about you and looking down their nose and want to give you a track and tell you about God and what the Bible says. Some of them don't even know where their fathers are.
Our mothers.
Let me put that out there. Some of them maybe have never seen their father, or their father don't want to see them. So Didi has her life together. Her father is in contact with her, sees her, and knows who she is, and she knows who he is. And some of y'all talking were just from a donor, in that opinion, you know. So you know.
Yes, well, I mean, sometimes we can't. We can't help where we've come from, in a sense, but I understand the point you're making in terms of that all of us have our.
We can't help where we come from.
I mean, what I'm saying,
talking, they have a donor.
Yeah, but what I mean is that those people that have the donor, they can't do anything about the fact that they have a donor. You know, that's their reality.
They have a donor, but they're busy minding somebody else's business. I contact with their father, so let them carry their ass and go on about the business. I ain't caring about them. David, please. We can help where they come from.
Wow.
Yeah.
They come from somebody's ass. Next,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Move it. Exit stage left. As Nene
That
likes
was
to say, girl, bye.
Yeah.
Girl, bye.
I guess that was my little comment to get the joy rant going.
Don't be feeling sorry for them people.
As if we need that.
Don't be feeling sorry for them people.
Oh
They have
God.
no common sense and brought up seat.
No.
Do you think that the Bible for a lot of people is the linchpin, is really hindering them from accepting people? Do you think that this is the block that is standing in the way of them accepting people for who they are, or not trying to understand who a person like you is?
I find that a lot of people, they go to the Bible, and I'm like, but do you know the individual? You know, why are you even? And like, there was a lady I used to work with. I don't work with her anymore, but she used to go to church, and one day she fell down, and I was there, and I said, I helped her up. I made sure she was okay. I even took her to the doctor, swiped my credit card, and everything. Some of my coworkers were like, oh, don't do it. She always says this, but I said, you know what? That is not my thing. I'm not here to judge anybody. And one day she said, thank God, no problem. I said, but listen to this. The transgendered girl that you hate so much, just pay the doctor's bill. Study it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not doing it for glory. I just did it because you fell, and I was wanting to make sure that you were okay. You know, it's called from the heart. It's called loving your fellow man.
That is so right.
And she was like, and she came around, because when I first got there, it would be like, oh my God. And when I first got there, I told everybody, I said, this is me. if you have issues with me, I do not care. I don't have time. You know, if you see me coming and you don't want to talk to me, you don't have to, because I can talk to myself.
That's the best person sometimes.
Right, exactly.
Right? You know, you don't have to conversate with me. You don't have to do anything with me, because at the end of the day, you're not paying my bills and I'm making my money.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, so you know, you do what you got to do. Too bad for you, but.
Well, have you found ever that you know, obviously you speak well, you speak for the organization, because you are part of an organization as well.
U.G.L.A.A.B.
But
U.G.L.A.A.B.
right.
Be glad. Is it be glad?
Be glad. And
U.G.L.A.A.B.
yes, I love that acronym. Be glad.
U.G.L.A.A.B.
But have you found that by taking this approach that you've made people change their attitudes or come around and say, what, you know what, I did have this attitude, but from what Didi said, I feel differently.
A lot of people are not educated to the differences in people. They have this one way, and this is the way it should be. And I always tell them, in that case, y'all are going to butt a lot of heads, because if you have that way and straight people have, and gay people have this thing that, oh, straight people are not real, then you are seen as the crazy person here. So you need to open your mind, take in all cultures. You know, like there are African cultures, there's Indian, there's so many different facets that you need to take into consideration before you decide, oh, this is how it should be. No, it's not going to work. But for me, I always tell people, like, if somebody asks me a question, I will tell them, because I like to educate people to me, which means they will go back with the education that I have given them and spread it to other people, and then other people will go like, okay, well, if that's it, let me just embrace this person for who she is, and not because she is different or because I think this, you know. So it's so you just gotta educate them.
That's great.
And for me, education is so powerful. It's such a powerful tool, and the more you learn, the more you know, the better it is.
Right, and the education by example, which is what you're doing. But you obviously very confident lady, and you're there.
Thank you.
What about you? What
arrogant.
I know. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. But what inspired you? Did you have an influence that you can say that you had, or was this just Didi? Was it someone that you looked up to that made you feel like you can come out and be who you are in the world?
I've never. There are people who surrounded me growing up, and I always tell people, I'm like, you take from each individual a little something.
Okay.
My mother, my stepmother, my father, my uncles, my aunts, my cousins, friends, you know, a little something. And I always tell people, this is me. And I've always lived for me. I've never been one to, be shy or be, I don't want to do this because somebody's going to say something. I just do me. I simply do me. If you have a problem with it, so bad. Sorry for you. You do it on your own time, not mine, because I don't have time for that.
Yes,
this is me.
We were speaking, certainly, Joy, and I think maybe last week or before, about Barbados, where Barbadians tend to be not the sort of go out there and talk people. We tend to be sort of people that kind of hover in the shadows a little bit and sort of wait and see what's going to happen. And if somebody makes a move, you say, okay, I'm going to follow after. But I was
never a follower. I was never a follower. So I don't know.
It doesn't
I
seem
never
so.
was. So.
No, you're born however you are, and that's why I tell people a lot of times people say, oh, you know, these people, they change, and you know, people, and I find there are a lot of people who have never met gay or transgendered or lesbian or bisexual people up close, but they are the ones that have the most, they know everything. Oh, they're going to tell you why the person's gay, how they're gay, and I always say, even if it is a choice, they can do what they want. And if it turns out that there is a God, he will sort them out later for you. What do you think? I mean, do you think that if there, you know, I don't believe in a God, but for whatever weird, whatever happens, you know, let's just say in a freakish universe, some God shows up. Guess what? He'll take care of Didi and me and whoever else.
Yeah,
right?
There we go. You know, and I was talking to this lady. She didn't know my tea. And we were talking about different little things, and then she said, do you want kids? I said, well, I don't want kids. I have a lot of kids around me. I love children. So we were talking, and I stepped off. I guess a little birdie probably tore her my tea. So when I came out, she was like, "Oh my God!"
Tea meaning business,
right?
Right,
yeah.
Tea, right.
You know, and she was, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know, and I thought that you were." I said, "Excuse me. The thoughts you had before, let them stay. Because right now you are judging, and I'm not judging you. Because if I was judging you, girl, this place would shut down.
No,
not a cup of tea." So the thoughts you had before of me being the fabulous woman that you see here before you now, let them stay here. You know, I've been places. My sister Jennifer, she had a staff party, and this man, he said he was a very attractive woman. I was like, "Thank you so much." And we spoke for a few minutes, and then I guess, like I said, somebody probably told him they tea, and I was like, okay. And I'm like, you know what? That's their problem. So after he came up to me, he said, "I don't care what they say, you're still an attractive woman." I said, "Thank you very much, and you are a very centered man."
Oh, goodness. Well, that certainly was mature.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what? And then what kills me, why are they making my business their business?
Yeah, I know.
You know, and sometimes I am like, really?
They're thinking about me that much.
See, and that's what I tell people. I feel powerful as hell right now to make somebody go out of their way to find out what perfume I use, what kind of car I drive, where I live, who I talk to, who's my boyfriend, who isn't. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Little old you, they want to know all this business. They're up at night. 3 o'clock in the morning, trying to figure out who's going out with Didi. And
at one point in time, I was talking to some friends of mine, and that was the topic.
Oh gosh,
they were telling me about who I was seeing and who I was. I said, "Wait a minute, how can you know this?" And I don't. Where was I? Why did I not get the memo?
Why did you not get a memo about yourself?
But they're interested in your channel, boy. Whatever is showing there, they want to watch it.
Your channel.
They want to watch that channel forever.
Channel Didi.
Oh my God.
But yes.
Do you ever feel though? I mean, in light of in light of what happened to Dwayne Jones, in Jamaica, the transgender young man that got killed recently. It was overkill, in my opinion. Overkill on this poor.
I was devastated. I said,
does that ever make you tired?
You hit him. Fine. Yes. But after that, leave it alone. But all these people took turns in. I was like, really? Because she was being herself. Right. She was just letting herself shine. Just because of that? And it's amazing. Some of these same guys are cloak and dagger. They're this wing. And I'm like, oh, really? Wow. It is so sad. And I was so mad. I was like, wow. And you want to take my life into your hands because you have issues with people who are different or people's differences? That's crazy. That is crazy.
Yes,
that bothered me. That bothered me a lot. Yeah. And even when David was telling me how the other flag person, I can't remember the name, in Barbados was pelted with stones around Kaduna.
Well, actually, the paper took it to that level, but it was just one guy and one rock.
Oh, okay. One random person.
Yeah, but I'm glad they put it there that way. I wasn't happy that it happened, but I'm so glad because a lot of people think that things like that don't happen in Barbados.
Right, that's the point.
They don't think that your house is stoned. They don't think that you're threatened. They don't think that people say things to you. They don't think that you're verbally abused. A lot of people think that that never happens in Barbados. Really? Come on. They need to wake up.
There was a picture. I saw a picture of you and a friend of ours. Tall glass of Mobby, who's big shout out to her. I saw a picture with you and her in Barbados, and she and right under it, I said I saw a person's comment, and it made me so angry. I was coming by and I thought that you looked really good, and the picture with you and her looked real nice. And then under it was this person who just says, "Oh yeah, you look good. Oh, fire bun, fire." You get like fire bun all the gays, and it's like they could not even write properly. The grammar was awful. They couldn't spell, and he was going on about fire bun, and I was just like, "Well, shut up! Why do you keep coming back?" And I just kept saying, "You can't even write."
Yes, it's true.
And my thing is, my thing to those people is, remember, there are people around you. There are always people around you in certain circles that you know nothing of. But what you need to do is find out about these circles and then get back to me, because you may be sitting beside somebody who likes more ass or dick than me.
Yes.
Study ahead.
Yes,
Study
that's it. But
spill the tea, honey.
Yes, yeah. One thing I was wanting to, you mentioned Barbados, that these things happen here, and I remember growing up in Barbados a lot of times, and I think it still happens now. In terms of the culture, a lot of the music, a lot of the jokes tend to be on gay people or on transgender people, transvestites, whatever. I mean, and what impact does that have? Because I mean, it may not always be violence, but being the butt of jokes consistently, I mean, how can that affect persons in terms of does it wear you down or others? Maybe not.
Because I know that you've been battling back. You've been talking. You're battling back these people, like as David said. But after a while, do you just feel just like, whew, I am tired?
Or even others that you come into contact, if not you,
like a few people I know, they always get upset. But I smile and I'm saying to myself, the jokes, the butt of jokes, it's sad that you can't find some other material that is refreshing, that is thought-provoking, that is enlightening, but you have to go there. Also, you have to cuss in whatever you're doing. You have to bring these songs that not only make you seem stupid, but still put people at a point where, I'm gonna listen to this song and I'm gonna become ignorant and I'm gonna try to hurt somebody. And I'm like, really now? Come on, you have not met the right person. Because the same way you can sing about these things, there are people who can sing. Because I know there's some gay people I know that when they start a song, it is over. It is so over. And I'm like, wow.
Yes.
And I also feel the same way you can do stuff, people can do stuff to you or say stuff about you as well. So they need to stop. They're so stupid.
Yes.
But I really, for me, I don't take it on. It doesn't get to me to that point. It's just when it comes into somebody's circle or my circle that you have to deal with it and let them know, you know what? You can say what you want to say, but don't bring it to me. You keep that to yourself.
Right.
You deal with that yourself.
I think the key thing for you too is that you seem to have a very strong family support, which is good. You have a strong family support. You hear your dad coming by, you talk about your mom, stepmom, everything. Yeah. And that is important too, because a lot of people, gay and transgendered or lesbian, just sometimes they don't have that. What do you say to people? I'm sure you meet a lot of young people might be that their family is just really against them.
I always tell them, even if you don't have that, the nuclear is when everyone is there. Even if you don't have that, I always tell them, you don't have that family, then you make a new one. Find a gay father. When I say gay father or gay mother, I mean you find somebody who replaces them. Somebody who loves you for you. Somebody who's going to make sure that you're okay. Somebody who's going to. Well, I've never been asked to be a mother. I'm always a big sister.
Okay.
You don't mind that at all. Of course.
I know. I'm always a big sister or Auntie Didi. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
You find that within the community, and you take from it. And I know a lot of some gay people who have gone through the drama, the father being rude or the mother being, and I'm like, don't let that stop you from being you. You will find a mother and you will find a father, and then you will have your complete family because they know you, they know who you are, they know what you want to do, they will help you along to encourage you and better you. So don't let that stop you from living it. I mean, there's some people who go, oh, my mother said this. Okay, she said it. That's her problem. Let her deal with it. You live for you. You get up, you put a smile on your face. Yes, we all have our problems. We all go through our drama. But at the end of the day, you have to make yourself supreme. You have to say, you know what? I got up, I breathe, I love me. I love me.
I love that you said you have to make yourself supreme.
Right.
Yeah, you have to.
I say that all the time. You have to be supreme.
Mm-hmm, you have to be. And then a lot of people go, oh, I can't do this. And that upsets me as well when people put themselves down. Right. Okay, you wanna try something, but you're scared. Bit by bit by bit, you try it, and then one day you will get it, and you put on the heels you want to wear, you put on the suit you want to wear, you fix your hair the way you want to wear it. But it's a process. From some people, it's a process. And I'm like, don't be scared to be you. Live for you. Don't be scared. I know you're not gonna. Some people can't. They're gonna. Oh well, that's not for me, and I don't want this to know. I'm like, I mean, even with people who are hit on. There's some guys who tell me, oh, I'm hit on by a girl, and what should I do? I simply tell her you're seeing somebody. You don't have to tell her you're gay. You don't have to tell her you're bisexual. Right, yes. You understand? You just have to say, look, I'm seeing somebody. If that person persists, simply tell him or her, look, I am seeing somebody. It's serious. You're wasting your time. You don't have to tell them about your preference. If you want to, you do. If you don't you won't. But still do not be muddying up the water by making that person think, hey, yes, I like fish, or I like sushi, or I like meat, but don't go there.
Right.
It's
just you.
Real.
You is what I do. It's you. It doesn't matter what I like. It's just not you. At least not you right now.
Well, I'm not even that. It's I'm seeing someone. So if there's the opportunity, the door is closed.
And it's serious.
I have to wonder what's behind the door.
You did not know who the body was. You say you're seeing somebody. So if they find out that you are gay, and you say, oh, you didn't tell. No, I told you you're seeing somebody. I didn't tell you who the body did. That's right. Who the body did, as you say in Barbados.
But the girls still want to open that door and find out, but that's them business, right?
That's their business. A friend
that's their business.
He told me this girl came up to him and he was telling her, oh, I'm seeing someone. And she was like, who? And she told her, I am seeing someone. Yes. You need to leave me alone. Then she started it, and then he was like, you know what? That's your thing. That's your problem. I said, job well done, because one, I told you what it is. And my thing is, if you don't want to hear that, too bad for you. Leave me alone. Step off. Simple.
Exactly.
And then these guys they're getting scared. I said, but you don't have to tell anybody about you. If they step to you, simply tell them, look, okay, I'm seeing somebody, or I'm in a relationship, I'm married, or just you don't have to let them know your business,
right? But
still be true to you. And don't muddy it up.
What do you think about the recent article written in the Nation newspaper by Mac Fingal?
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I haven't read it, honestly. I did not read it.
You should. That's quite entertaining. He actually had this whole long diatribe about gays and what's normal and what's not normal, and we could get into that whole stupidity because there's a lot of straight people that do a lot of shit.
If we said something about AIDS through feces or something,
he get AIDS through feces.
So this is the thing with education. We need this education. Right? Education. Where is it going?
That's bad. And a lot of people have him to be gay. I'm just saying. I'm not saying. Allegedly.
Well,
I was like, whoa.
Didi, you just said something, because that is funny that you said that. Because when the article was written and I was writing, I was reading it thinking to myself, but he always struck me, and I see him in New York with Red Plastic Bag, and I was like, he always struck me as he was gay. So I'm thinking to myself, dude, you might need to fall all the way back and shut up.
Holla.
He might be pulling an Eddie Long. That.
Well, I tell you.
Is he? I mean, not to get in his business, but I'm not sure. Is he married, or does he have a girlfriend or something? Because I always, let's talk about Mac Fingal, since he's talking about how you get AIDS, HIV, and all these gay people that ain't normal, and you can't put a plug here, there, and somebody's this and the butt. I don't know why people concerned with other people body hole, and we're going in the butt, we're going in the fronts, we're going in the mouth, we're going in everything. But I would like to be concerned about what is going on with Mac Fingal, since he's going to be very concerned about what's going on with the gay population.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful.
He struck me as being a little sweet.
Because a friend of mine told me that they saw Mac and they were going on, and I was like, really? And I'm like, I said, girl, I don't know. He's never told me. He's never said it. If you want to know, go ask him. Because it's none of my business, But a lot of people would say that, and I'm like, you know what? Let him run his route. So tragic.
But we got to be out there. we have to tell the truth out there, though. We have to set the record straight when people mislead. I mean, that's what we have to do.
He's misleading, and he's trying to put the spotlight off of him because it's fun. It's funny that I tell you, great minds think alike. Because Didi was going in the same vein I was going.
I realized that.
My brain was tinkering, and the gears was turning, going away. He wrote this article. He very, very fast to rush an article in the newspaper, and I was just going, But he always struck me as Anyway, but it's always those types who shout the loudest that are the ones that are a bit, those are the ones that do have the skeletons in their closet, and the skeletons that they're yelling, they're trying to shake out other people's closet. That article was really tragic. It was really ridiculous.
Yeah, I was surprised. Really, really, really was.
Do you feel that the church has run out of material, and it's like kind of like exciting and scandalous to keep demonizing gay and transgender people? That I think they want to. They gotta find something to excite the base, so to speak. So they gotta keep finding an enemy. So that you guys are convenient. Then
I think it's sad. I really do. Yeah. Because every time you look around, gay, trans, and I'm like, is that all there is? Is that all there is? Could you not have a soup kitchen? Start a soup kitchen for those who down the block who need food? Could you not go into the community to find out who needs a board replaced? Mm-hmm. Could you not find out who needs to get themselves together? Could you not find out who needs clothing? Yes. Stuff like that. I think of when I hear all this drama and the negative jargon, and I'm like, for real?
Yes,
I'm
it's
like,
not.
No. And I'm like, yes, you go to church, praise the Lord. But from the time people come with all this, I always see sin. I'm like, I'm always saying it. Ye without saying God's the first song. How dare you tell me about things when you have so much anger and so much evil within your thoughts? That's like somebody going to church and they want to read the person out of the church. That's sin. Embrace that person. Help that person along the way.
It's not building up.
A girl becomes pregnant. Oh my God, she has done this. Get her out. I'm like, that's not the way. Embrace her. Find somebody who's going to teach her how to become a mother.
Right.
Somebody who's going to teach him that, okay, we know you're on drugs, but we're going to help you get off the drugs. Stuff like that. You deal with that, but don't just because of somebody's sexual preference and they're going there all the time. I'm like, come on, is that all you have to talk about? Is that all it is? Oh, it is so. If you already study it, it is ridiculous. Every single minute. And I'm like,
it is really laughable, except that, of course, the consequences are tragic. Your organization, because we hear about gay and transgendered and often together. The same thing, or the same issues? How does your organization deal with these two groups? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
U.G.L.A.A.B, U.G.L.A.A.B. Actually, it was U.G.L.A.A.B. It was actually U.G.L.A.A.B before, United Gays and Lesbians Against AIDS, Barbados. But then, and the funny thing, people always go, well, there's transgender in there, there's bisexual, there's different lesbian. So I'm like, we embody everyone under that umbrella. And the funny thing is, we all deal with the same things: breast cancer, HIV, poverty, AIDS awareness. And it's not, and we're not sectioning, even though there's some transgender people who go like, oh, well, I don't see myself as, and that's okay, that's fine, but we are not looking at that. We're looking at the fight to educate people, protect yourself, protect others, how to do things, how you should, live the life if you are HIV positive, how you should deal with people who aren't, because there's some gay people who they know people, but they don't know HIV. They don't know people who are infected and affected. So it's a whole learning process, and we do what we have to do. We help, and there's also straight people within our organization who we
because you're doing other things.
Yeah,
you see, breast cancer and
everything.
You're doing other things.
So we don't stick to one person or one time. And it was so amazing to me when we come together. There's no color. There's no sex. There's no religion. It's just we're here to help and educate, no matter what.
And I think that your organization too, but funny enough, this can be a model for what what religion tries to monopolize, which is people's good spirit, people's wanting to help. Religion does not own that. Christianity does not own empathy. Islam, Judaism does not own a person's ability to get together with other people and help people. Because here you are, you're a gay person. You don't have to care about nobody with breast cancer. You don't have to care about nobody but hungry people. But yet there is an organization, and you saying, yeah, this is not church, but look at, we do. We want to help feed people. We want to care about people who maybe are not like us, and you actually care. You could teach these people a lesson.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because a while back, like a few years ago, there were a few people who had HIV, and they were in the hospital, and we took it on ourselves to go into the hospital, and care for our own, who needed this, who needed that, and people got well. One or two passed, and we dealt with that as well, because, you have to deal with certain things. But a few nurses and doctors were like, wow, look at the job these people are doing. Because you have people in there, you may just want to see a face, you may just want to touch, you may just want to be pampered. And I tell people the feeling of love is so strong. It does a lot. It really does. Like I was talking to a friend of mine, and he said he was about to take some pills, and I was like, why? And this is a straight man, This is a straight man. He said he fed up with life and all that stuff. I said, well, tell you what, give me some water. Let me help you take some of these pills. And he looked at me like, I said, yeah, let me help you. Let me take a few of these, because I'm fed up with life too. So I used my reverse psychology, and he was like, well, what are you doing? I said, aha, what are you doing? We all have our drama, we all have our hurdles, but we're going to take pills. To do what? Study it. When you are gone, you're leaving a girlfriend, a baby. Mm-hmm. You have certain things you need to deal with. All right, so let it go. Let it go. And then told him, I said, if you were me, you would have probably taken your life years ago, because one, I've been through so many different things. Nothing that you would understand. Right. Nothing that you'll be like, whoa. And I gave him a few scenarios, and he was like, oh my God. I said, there we go. And I said, I'm still here smiling and fabulous, darling. Fabulous.
Fab.
You let it go. So don't even go there. It makes no sense. None whatsoever.
I got to say that you have been amazing to talk to. You shared so much.
Thank you. And yes, I'm single.
Yes, okay. That's going out there.
Yeah, because everybody thinks that I have a boyfriend. Everybody. I'm like, really? I didn't know that.
Wow.
She put that out there.
She put that out there, and I tell you, the honey,
let me tell you,
the bees
baby,
are going to come into the honey.
So I'm trying to tell you, you got all of this loveliness. You got all of this brain power. You got all of this love, this big heart, this person that is so educated, so profound, so smart, says so many smart and deep things here on this show, and single. And hot. And got nice legs.
Isn't it?
And got nice legs. People, okay, so
oh, thank you. I love to love a little Tina Turner, honey.
Anybody see the pictures? Didi is single.
Oh, wow.
And I have to commend you for the good work. And this
Thank
is
you
something
so much.
that...
Thank you.
You're very welcome. One of our former guests, Clive from Yardy Skeptics, a Jamaican guy, was talking about, and he was saying, the world without religion, how we can get together and do things. And I got to say that Didi is ready. It's already in the world without religion, because Didi has already taken the step. Didi and the organization U.G.L.A.A.B has already done that. They have formed a community. They're already helping people. They're a support group for people. You've already done... I mean, I don't even know what to say. I'm so impressed and in awe of you.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you so
I think you have brought so much to this show today.
Thank you. Girl power.
Yes, I know we said so much. To use your word, Didi, fabulous.
Thank you.
Fab.
You are fabulous. You are beyond fabulous. You are supreme. And that is what I call. And let me tell you what I will call you. You are a supreme being.
I tell you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Being.
Don't talk.
A supreme being. So people could talk about God and this. Didi, these are humans doing for you. Didi is a supreme being.
Right, and there's no more supreme being than the human. From all that Didi said today, and I like to listen to see what comes through. It's the human being before the holy book. You know, that is the thing. That so often people are just putting the book before the person. Mm-hmm. And that is exactly what you're not doing. And it's also on Freethinking Island what we try to do as well. And so we can see how we can align ourselves, because today we didn't go into, well, necessarily only the religion, but we look to see how your community also is helping people, because it's all about building up. So thanks for coming and helping us to build up, and doing it with your style and grace that few people, if any, can emulate. So thank you.
I tell you, you set the Didi. Don't
set the bar.
You set the bar high. I'm sorry.
Barbados, of course.
A lot. These people talking trash about you can't even sit and do half the things that you do. Right. And as I was say, you know, even when people throw things at you and to try to hurl daggers at you from the Bible, and I would always say the Bible has hindered our ability to understand ourselves and understand other humans and break down the barriers that make us different. And it just shows that there's no real difference. And you actually, you are different. I gotta say that you're different. You're doing better things than some of the lowlifes, the Nuffinarians that bought the place. So sorry, you're different in a good way.
And they got Nuffinarians, I suppose.
Nuffinarians, a bunch of Nuffinarians. So I thank you. I tell you, I want to almost bow to you. I am bow.
You can take me.
I thought you be prepared to say that. I love it.
Homage.
Pay homage.
Hands
Yes.
class, head bow.
Dearie.
All to the
supreme being.
Didi.
Wow.
Oh boy, I had a fun on Freethinking Island. So you have to come back, Didi. After all this, you have to come back to some Freethinking Island. And just to remind you, freethinkingisland@gmail.com for you out there that want to.
And the Facebook group and the Be Glad Facebook group. And I will put up the website and anything that anyone can do to help out U.G.L.A.A.B. Didi, I don't know if they could send something, a donation, a supply. I don't care, you know.
Right.
Yeah, whatever you can. It will be greatly appreciated.
I will put the information out there on the podcast so that they can really be a part of this, because I really think it is a good thing. And again, thank you so very much, David. You can take it away.
Thank you so much, Didi. It was a great show. Lovely day on Freethinking.
It was great talking to you guys.
Yeah. Any parting words?
For all my gay, lesbians, trans, bi, fabulous people, live for you. Make yourself happy, and once you make yourself happy, the world will be much more prettier.
That is awesome. Oh my goodness, Didi, you need to write a book. Forget the Bible, please. Get busy. I mean, throw that away, David.
That's it, yeah.
Throw that in the garbage.
Yes.
Didi.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what to say. That's fabulous.
Thank you so
That's
much.
great.
That's
Thank
fabulous.
you.
So all we can say is be happy and be glad. And until the next time we are here on Freethinking Island, where the prevailing winds of reason blow and the waves of logic and evidence flow, my name is David Ince, a.k.a. Carib Atheist, signing out.
And I am sailing away on the good ship Lollipop, or taking my spaceship and leaving out of here, because really and truly I feel like sometimes I'm from Mars. But this is the Kahlua Queen Joy, Holloway, Davalar, leaving you, and after having such an absolutely wonderful conversation with a fabulous and supreme human being, Didi Winston. And as I always say, please try and think for yourself and meet somebody. And when you walk the streets, don't look at people and throw daggers, but maybe you should get to know a stranger. Say hello, say hi, and introduce yourself. I gone from about here. Later.